So excuse my windshield. I haven't washed my windshield in a while, but I'm sitting here right now. I'm sure you guys know that guy right there. Let me go ahead and do a close-up. Dave Ramsey is in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm getting ready to go stand in line for a book signing, but there's no line. Right now, I'll go ahead and do a close-up over to the people that are standing there right where that station is right there, that little tent, whatever. That's all the people here for the line up, and we're probably maybe an hour away from the show. Dave Ramsey, national finance guy, coming out with a book, Intra Leadership, which I'm sure is going to be a good book. 20 years of practical business wisdom from the trenches. And there's no line. All these cars right here are passing. This is a major street here. Hundreds upon hundreds of cars passing. Right now, people are getting off work and whatever. And there's no one here. So we're going to see what it's going to be like once it gets a little closer to the time. But we wonder why there's only 1% of people who are wealthy. Not only just, well, it's not 1%, it's 3%. We wonder why there's only 3% of people who are wealthy in the world. Because everyone else is busy. Busy doing nothing. Busy doing things that are not helping them in their lives. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to spend time with your family, things like that. But when it's time to learn, when we're in a recession right now, supposedly, and all these things are going on and people are complaining, and no one wants to come over and get wisdom and network with people who may have made it or are making it. No one wants to do it. What do you think? So I'm going to be out here. I'm hoping to get my book signed by Dave, and I'm out here hopefully meet some good people, whatever. And that's all I have to say.
And 20 years later, working our butts off for an overnight success. I think it's kind of fun that the timing is perfect, because the media is all looking at me like, a dog that's confused. It's like, wait a minute, you think people ought to open a business now? And I'm like, yeah. Versus sitting at home and watching Oprah reruns. Yeah, let's open a business. I think there's something to be done. And then these little twits get up on Occupy Wall Street, and that they've made life fun. I mean, so we get to use lines like occupy the business end of a lawnmower, and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's stuff to do out here, and this is a great time to start a business. I mean, think about it. When I started, Al Gore hadn't even invented the internet yet.
I know it.
And so I get to nowadays, if you got ready to start, 5 years ago, if you started a business, you wouldn't have had Facebook and Twitter, and you wouldn't have had YouTube the way it is, and Google the way it is with Google Analytics. It's all free to you as a business person. Craigslist and Angie's List, and man, you can get to your customers now and build a following like never before. I got 120,000 people following me on stupid Twitter, and I'm just a twit. I mean, that's funny. You think about it. I have a thought, and all of a sudden 120,000 people know it. That's just scary. And you have about 8,000 thoughts a day. My God, I never saw anybody tweet as much as you tweet.
It's called caffeine, Dave. It's a wonderful thing.
Oh, man.
That and three kids.
Well, yeah, there's lots of material.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of material.
But I mean, you're right, because here I am, a little guy in Jackson, Mississippi, and now my business that I started, I can do stuff anywhere in the world.
Well, yeah, and you can reach your brand out there, connect with people, and serve people. There's new and better and quicker ways to solve the idea of how do we serve somebody.
Right.
And the free enterprise system is actually about helping somebody. And think about it. Always think about it in simple terms, like if you're a waitress, and if I go into a restaurant and the waitress does a great job, don't we all just love giving a good tip? Well, that's what profit is. Profit is the applause your customers give you when you run a business well. You're a plumber, and you put in a water heater, and you do a good job, you take care of the customer, they give you money for that. Certificates of appreciation with presidents' faces on them. And so that idea, that free enterprise thing that is so much ingrained in our family DNA, I'm seeing it as I've gone all across America. It's ingrained in this country.
Right.
People think that way.
Well, I mean, the economy's changed, and a lot of folks just don't get that yet. It's not going back the way it was. The big corporation is going to hire you. You're not going to work 40 years there. Folks need to get out and get busy, and big government ain't going to help us. I'm sorry, Uncle Sam ain't coming. The president is not going to come with the jobs program and save the day. We're going to have to get busy and do it ourselves.
It's interesting. I went broke under Ronald Reagan, and I made a lot of money under Bill Clinton, and I liked Reagan, and I didn't care for Clinton. So it turns out that it ain't got anything to do with who the president is. Right. It's got to do with who's in my mirror and what I'm going to do with that guy. Am I going to make a decision to change my life? I'm going to make a decision to change my family. Am I going to make a decision to change my destiny? And that goes all the way back to the money piece, where we teach people about their money, but certainly this idea of career and this idea we are free. We can decide today I'm going to do something different. I'm stuck. You're not stuck. The only thing stuck's between your ears. And that's what this book, Entree Leadership, is doing. It's giving people that power to go, okay, here's a step-by-step plan. Here's what you do to win. And here's how you can start something. Here's how you could take leadership inside of somebody else's business and do such a better job that you stand out like a thoroughbred among donkeys. And when you stand out like a thoroughbred among donkeys, people will hire you if they won't pay you at that place.
Right. That's the thing. You did that personally. I mean, you for years, you've always been an entrepreneur since I can remember. I mean, you were out there cutting grass when you were 13. You were out there doing other jobs and so forth. But I mean, when your world came crumbling down, you didn't just quit. You kind of reinvented yourself, and you created this business and this team. And I've had the pleasure of working with this team. You've really created an incredible business on your own.
Well, these guys, that's why the book is number one, is the incredible marketing team we built.
Right.
I mean, these are some of the smartest freaking people I've ever been around in my life. I mean, it's amazing. And they work on my team. It's pretty cool. But that's what happens when you work very hard inside of a company or inside of an organization, a church, or whatever it is, to be very intentional about who you hire, who you keep, and the quality of the culture inside the organization. And you got to value people and say, this person has a person with 2 kids, a dog, and they might even have a cat, and these are people, the people matter in the middle of that. And when you drill that into your organization from a leadership perspective, and you see leadership as an act of service, just like you were waiting a table, that's service. It's funny, when we talk about customer service, it's the same thing we say for worship. Service. And so this is it's an act, it's a part of our faith to go into the marketplace and be excellent. And man, I'm excited about what I'm seeing around the country of people doing this stuff. It's good times out there. There's some people hurting. There's some people having the best years of their lives too out there right now.
That's right. And I recently had the pleasure of working with your team on the Financial Peace Junior. We were doing some new junior drawings for that, which I've loved doing that, by the way. That has been one of the joys of my life, having little kids come up and holding up the junior picture, and that's been a lot of fun. But I got to come in on your Monday meeting, and you got up and you talked to the team, you communicated with them, and they communicated back, and it was like, I've never seen a business like that before, where there's no need for gossip in your business because everybody knows what's going on.
There better not be any.
Well, I have to say, you'll fire them.
I got a zero tolerance policy for gossip. I'll fire your butt for gossip. I got no use for that. That's a bunch of trash. I got too much work to do. I mean, me and Jenny, I get people out of debt. Me and Jenny Craig got a big job. We got a lot of work to do. We can't be sitting around messing, yapping at each other. We got stuff to do, so get your work done. If you got a problem, hand it up to leadership. You don't be running around the office spreading filth. So, but yeah, we concentrate. That staff meeting is one of the things we do at Devotional every Wednesday. We concentrate very intentionally to communicate. A lot of companies are really, really bad at communication. And what happens when people that work on your team don't know what's going on? They're no longer on your team. Right. You ever seen you see in football we call that a busted play. When the leader, the quarterback, didn't communicate what the play was, and he does something and the rest of the guys in the line do something else. That's a busted play. A lot of companies every day all they do is busted plays because there's no communication, there's no connectivity. Nobody has a shared purpose in where they're going. There's not goals that are clearly defined and laid out there as a vision. And we spend a lot of time and money making sure every one of our 311 people actually have what's known as a freaking clue.
Well, I mean, your company has been named for 5 years running the best place in Nashville.